London 25. That warning is in fact an amber warning.
BBC Radio London.
Great to be with you this afternoon. It's 4:36. Shay here till 6 p.m. And it's back for the new year. I really did enjoy this last year. And for whatever reason, we do know, don't we, that technology is a big part of our lives. It's only just therefore that we talk about and loop in with everything with Ready Tech Go. I'm joined in the studio with the brilliant James Erskine. He's our resident technology and social media expert. It's great to have you back on the show. How are you?
Really well, thank you, Shay. Yeah, I've had a good Christmas, good New Year, and it's great to be back.
It's
and you're
back
right,
at
there's
it.
loads of tech and social media stories about, aren't there?
There certainly is. I think if we could start off here locally with the UK. A lot of discussion this week with the Prime Minister, politics in general around AI. Tell me more.
Well, Keir Starmer came out with a big announcement, and some of it was overshadowed because of politics and other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But if you get down to the bare bones of what he was talking about, he was positioning the UK and presenting the opportunity for the UK to become a powerhouse of AI and technology. And what that means is he wanted to have something called a sovereign AI drive here in the UK. He wanted to encourage the private sector to make more of AI and not be as fearful of it as perhaps the general public have been.
Yes.
But he was also really big on this, embedding AI into the public sector. So getting government organisations, getting schools, getting education, everybody to embrace AI so that it becomes more than just a tool that we can ask to write legal letters or estate agent letters. So it becomes something to refine processes and refine systems.
Why are us Brits so scared of AI, or are we rightfully wary of it?
Well, I think there's two things with AI.
Okay.
One is it could, and it probably will, replace some jobs that are currently being done by humans.
Such as?
So where you see somebody's job that's heavily reliant on data processing or data entry, AI will be able to take those systems, those processes, and refine them and make them go quicker. But you've already seen examples towards the end of last year and early this year where AI can't replace humans.
That's good news.
I think that is good news. I think with every new piece of technology, one, it doesn't necessarily replace the technology that went before it. So podcasts haven't replaced radio. Television didn't replace cinema.
Right.
You know, TV didn't replace radio. When you see advances in technology, it's often used alongside existing technology.
I see.
But if you were to take another analogy, people now drive cars, they don't get horse and carts everywhere. So there are some technologies that have become redundant. And that will mean significant retraining. As a small business owner, one of the things we look at in recruitment now is how people are able to engage with AI and how people are engaged to manipulate AI.
Gosh, that's interesting.
So can you use AI to do your job better? And that should be a question that everybody is asking themselves. And that's broadly what Keir Starmer has said to the private and public sector.
Well, he said, didn't he? AI is the defining opportunity of our generation. Does that mean it's going to get to the point that in the next 2 to 3 or even 5 years, our children will be taught more about AI and how to use it for their benefit?
Definitely. I think there is a huge, huge piece around digital literacy in schools that is yet to be solved. And I definitely think that AI will form part of that. How can you use AI to pull a report together? How can you use AI? Now, it's an interesting one in education, isn't it?
It is,
because
yes.
one of the stories you hear about AI is that people are just going to use AI to write their dissertations, to write their essays. And there has to be technology around to show that people can't just do that. But
can't do that. But what they could use AI to help aid in writing their dissertations. It's a very fine line. It's like a grey area, isn't it?
It is a hugely grey area. But I'll give you an example in the real world.
Sure.
I was asked to do a presentation at a conference coming up next week, and I can put in the key talking points of my conference. It's a bit of a black mark because I can't remember the program, but
Sure.
I'll come back to you. And what this program did was it took all of my points from my proposed presentation and it had 2 AI voices discussing my presentation.
Okay.
So it can create a podcast about your report, your analysis, your presentation.
see.
So potentially in education, what you can use is you can use AI as a tool to double check you got it right, to find out whether there are any more points that could be added to that bit of
see.
learning.
To enhance your grade.
Well, so in the same way that we thought the internet would just be a way for people to cut and paste articles from the
Sure.
internet into essays,
Yes.
AI has to be seen as something
It's more complex.
Yeah, exactly.
It is, and actually, we've opened the Pandora's box, haven't we, James? Which means, as a society, whether you are fearful of it, whether you like it or not, AI is here to stay.
Oh, completely.
So
Yeah.
therefore, a big part of this, as a country, the government, would you say what, is trying to send a clear message to the rest of the world that we're going to be part of the game-changing plans with AI?
It's a wider geopolitical point, but the UK has to be famous for something right now, yeah? So, and I think it is a good opportunity for us to really embrace it in the same way that California is known for tech, in the same way that other areas of the world are known for. Singapore's known for trading and industry and service industries. If the UK can harness this AI opportunity, then potentially it's a really good thing and a really exciting thing.
So with that in mind, let's move to the next story. If we can just for a moment stay in the vein of politics, UK politics.
Yes.
It's been quite something, hasn't it? That the first, what are we now? 14th of January, the first 2 weeks of 2025. It's been Elon Musk versus the UK political world.
It's been incredible. So
It certainly has.
I'll cast your listeners' memories back to perhaps almost a more innocent time. And that was when Elon Musk was rumoured to be donating $100 million to the Reform UK Party.
Okay.
Now, Nigel Farage did point out that legally, if there was a donation, he's since come out and said it was never going to be that amount of money. But legally, you can't have an overseas national donate money to a UK political party. But he could have found a way by doing it for X, formerly known as Twitter's UK operations.
I see. Okay.
They could have found a way to make that work.
Right.
So that was his first toe in the water after the USA presidential election of Elon Musk potentially influencing UK politics. But that soured quite quickly.
It did, didn't it?
Because he then came out and he said that he doesn't think that Nigel Farage is worthy or the right person to lead the Reform Party. Now, the reason he may have done that is what Elon Musk has started doing is retweeting conspiracy theories and indeed convicted criminals such as Tommy Robinson.
Okay.
So when you start seeing political currency in someone like Tommy Robinson, quite rightly, Nigel Farage distanced himself from any support of Tommy Robinson. And Elon Musk has sort of moved himself into a more extremist position than we could have ever have thought. You fast forward to something more recently, and Elon Musk is now retweeting, reposting the 10-year-old grooming scandals in the UK. So he's doing lots to interfere. He's asking to overthrow Keir Starmer. He's playing a lot with UK politics.
There's a lot to unpack, and stay with me, James. It's always a pleasure having you here. Going to continue speaking to James Erskine more about exactly what is going on in the world of social media and technology.
Shay Core